Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will dive into the concept of taint and tolerance in Kubernetes. If you are already familiar with the concept of labels and selector in Kubernetes, it is almost the same concept. It helps to schedule, run our pod on a particular node. Taint is enabled by default on the master node in the Kubernetes cluster. Here is my console, and here if I am going to type the command kubectl get nodes, it is going to show me all the nodes which are there in my cluster. As of now, if you see, I have only two nodes. One is with the name of control plane and the other one is the node 01. If I want to check whether the taint is enabled or not, so the command for that is kubectl describe node. Then we need to type the node name. So it could be control plane or node 01. Let me go with node 01 and hit enter. If I'm going to scroll up a little bit, here we will see the taint. And currently there is no taint which is assigned to this node. We can set the taint as per our requirement. And in order to set the taint on any of the nodes, the command is first kubectl get nodes, and then the command is kubectl taint node. Then we need to provide the node name, key value pair, and then node schedule. What exactly this node schedule is, I will explain later. So let me go and update this command. So for me, the node name is node 01, and for me my key name is run, and the value is my pod and no schedule. Let me hit enter. Now this command is telling me my node 01 is tainted. Let me go and check. So the command to check kubectl describe node 01. And if I'm going to scroll up and look for the taint option, I can see taint is now set to this node. Couple of important points which we need to remember. Whenever we run any pod, it is the duty of the master component scheduler to schedule it on the node based on the available resources. So let's suppose if I have 3 nodes in my cluster, and if I'm going to run any of the pod, it is the duty of the scheduler to schedule it on any of the node based on the available resources. Let's suppose I want to schedule my particular pod to a particular node, then I need to go with this taint option. Taint and tolerance are going to work together. Taint are applied to node, tolerance are applied to pod. And how exactly this thing is going to work, let's see with the demo. Currently what I did is I have already set taint to one of the node, and this is the command by which I have set this value to my node. Now the next thing which I need to do is I need to run my pod. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one YAML file for the pod. Here is the content, and if we look at this in the specification, I'm mentioning toleration, and in the toleration I'm providing key and value. In my case, my key was run and value was my pod. Effect is no schedule and operator is equal. If you need more information on this, you can go to the Kubernetes documentation, search for the taint and tolerance. If I'm going to scroll down, here we have the command to set the taint, and after that we have this toleration which we need to provide in the deployment, replica set, or in the pod YAML. Now what I need to do is I need to run this thing. So kubectl apply -f pod.yaml. So it is telling me my pod with the name nginx is created. Let me verify this thing. Yes, it is in the running state, and let me go with -o wide option. it is telling me it is running on the node 01. And why it is running on the node 01? Because in my pod.yaml file, if I'm going to do it, I have set the toleration value, that is equal to run value, or key is equal to run, and the value is equal to my pod. And we can also verify this thing by going to kubectl get node get pod, kubectl describe pod nginx, and here if we are going to see the toleration value, it is showing me this is the toleration value. Now let's suppose I need to schedule another pod, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some other value. Okay, and let's see if my pod is going to schedule on any of the node or not. Okay, so for that, let me do one thing: cp pod.yaml to pod1.yaml. Now let me go inside this nano pod1.yaml, and here I'm going to update the value. So let's suppose this time my value is my pod my dev. Currently we don't have any taint with this value. Okay, now let me apply this thing: kubectl apply -f pod1.yaml, kubectl get pod -o y. Let's see. If we see, nginx 01 is in the pending state, and there is no node which is assigned. Let me go one more time. It is still in the pending, no node assigned to it. Let me look for the logs. kubectl describe not node pod nginx 01. If we see, here we have failed scheduling message,